What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the boxing clinic, and it's the late night grind. You dig? And Luis Ortiz has pretty much made it clear in the article on Boxing Scene, which we're gonna read some of his thoughts on Anthony Joshua. He makes it clear and says that he wants to fight Anthony Joshua. He prefers Anthony Joshua, and I told you I pretty much thought Al Heyman would push him that way, or maybe he wants to go that way himself. But I really thought that was the logical fight for him. I understand that Deontay Wilder and Ortiz is a good fight, but Joshua brings more revenue in, and also everybody sees Joshua as the number one guy. If you don't know, Joshua has the IBF, he has the WBA. His mandatory is Ortiz. Ortiz let him get the WBA, and Ortiz takes shots at him, saying that I'll read in a minute that why doesn't he just drop the IBF and defend the WBA title? It seems that Ortiz is targeting Joshua, which makes sense. Why would Al Heyman take one of his horses out when one of his horses can take out Anthony Joshua and beat a man, and then they could fight each other and he can make big money? He get a split out of Ortiz's purse and Wilder's purse. He don't get split out of Joshua's purse. But this is what Luis Ortiz said. I had to laugh, buddy, because after reading what you said, it shows a lot about you and your pride to fight the best. In your own words, you say you will get stripped of the WBA belt if you don't fight me, if the WBA enforces their rules, and then those are your words, Ortiz told Boxing Scene. So what's funny is, why not just let them strip you of the IBF and come face me? You can say and trick the public all you want, but I know the truth, and maybe you really don't want to face me. Maybe your promoters are pushing you in another route, and that's far away from me as possible. But at the end of the day, we both know we make the last call. I love to face you for belts, and I mean belts. You say in your article it's over money. I think if you fight Pulev, then you're the one looking for a payday. And at the end, the public will know this. Pulev will last about 2 rounds. I don't kid the American public. Sell that joke in the UK with your promoters. The ball's in your hands, little buddy. And Ortiz manager reiterated the same thing. Now, Ortiz manager, I guess would be a co-manager, because Al Heyman's manager as well. He's been, going hard on Anthony Joshua and everything I've been keeping y'all up to date with over the last few months. Pretty much be coming out his mouth, and the WBA trying to play both sides. We understand that Joshua has the largest purse and it brings more money to the WBA. So we understand that. But Ortiz let Joshua fight for the WBA versus Klitschko. He didn't have to do that. And in return, they promised, Ortiz a win. I mean, a fight versus the winner. But, Ortiz put him on full blast here, man. It seems like he got tunnel vision on Anthony Joshua. He don't give a fuck about Wilder right now. And a lot of people are like, I told you Wilder wasn't going to fight him. Let's see what happens. I think, like I told you guys from day one, Joshua was going to get stripped from that WBA belt. They're trying to come to terms with the IBF, the WBA, to work something out where he can keep the belt and defend one. The IBF is very strict on their mandatory, so I don't see them budging. So maybe the WBA will budge and let him fight, Pulev, and then come around and fight Joshua. Fight Ortiz, but Ortiz ain't having it. Ortiz said if he don't get his shot next, he's suing them through the Muhammad Ali Act, which is supposed to protect boxers. So, I don't know if they want to get sued. I don't know if he has the clout and the power of, attorneys, to do that. But he does have Al Heyman. And, I don't think he wants any step-aside money. He wants his time now. I think he's about 38 years old. Probably could be older because he's Cuban. He wants his time now. And then now he's, he's talking shit, through articles to entice Anthony Joshua to fight him. And hopefully he gets what he deserves. Fight with Anthony Joshua, he deserves that payday. And hopefully he shows up and shows out. Because if he does other shit talking to Anthony Joshua and get his ass iced, he gonna look like the fool, in a public eye, but not really, because he gonna make that bread though. But that's what you got to do. If he spoke English, this probably would make a larger impact on the sport, But and Joshua benefit, he doesn't talk English, so he verbally can't abuse Anthony Joshua in public on video like he wants to. Just like Rigondeaux is abusing Lomachenko, Santa Cruz, he abused Walters today. If he spoke English and he was able to abuse them and articulate it in English, it'll be a lot of pressure on those guys. But, Leo Santa Cruz is giving the G pass to Doug Rigondeaux because Rigondeaux can't speak English. If Rigondeaux can speak English and really dog out Santa Cruz and Lomachenko, I think those fights may happen. Probably not Santa Cruz because he's a little bitch. But those fights are more likely to happen for him. not speaking English is a big detriment for guys. Lara was one of the few guys that pull up on Canelo and disrespect him and are able to get the fight only because he disrespected him at the press conference. If they had good translators like Rigondeaux, Gamboa, Lara, probably even Luis Ortiz, man, if they had, good translators that understand the slang that they're using, man, I think they'd be big stars. And if they spoke English, they'd be big stars. And I think they're more likely to get the fights that they want. So this is going to be swept under the rug. But one of the important things that Luis Ortiz did say was the simple fact that, you can sell that shit in the UK, but you can't fool the American public. And that's what a lot of Americans been saying before, the UK, they going to love Joshua whatever you do, but, how can you buy a Puig fight? How can you want to see that over a Luis Ortiz fight? A lot of people say, well, Puig is a bigger draw over there in the UK. They trying to use that excuse. They make all these excuses for Anthony Joshua. And I never said that the dude wasn't talented and wouldn't beat the shit out of Ortiz and beat the shit out of Wilder probably on the same night. Never said that. I like him, versus Wilder. I don't know about Ortiz. But, we're not hating on Joshua. We see him getting a G pass. And we know historically, UK fighters that come to America or step up to the American level get iced. They get ice, baby. You know what I'm saying? And, people just want to see if he a honey. In the UK, yeah, he a honey. And a lot of those guys, in the UK, be like, oh, yeah, this fighter is 100. He be domestic like a motherfucker. He step up to the American world class level and get that ass beat. Even Carl Frampton. His American debut, he got dropped 2 or 3 times, So, you know how it goes, man. No disrespect to either one of these guys, but, I like the route that Ortiz is going, talking shit about Anthony Joshua. I think he should do more of it. I wish he knew English and really put the pressure on him. Wilder been putting pressure on him, but people act like they don't hear Wilder. Oh, no, Wilder is a joke. If Ortiz can articulate and speak English and put the pressure on Joshua, no way, man, he could take that abuse. And it's, exactly, I don't think Anthony Joshua has an issue with stepping up fighting Ortiz and Wilder. It's Eddie Hearn that's protecting him. Same thing he did with Kell Brook. Told Kell Brook, just move up, don't fight Earl Spence. Just move up, don't do it. And Kell Brook took control of his career and, went back down to fight for Earl Spence and lost his belt. And, one key thing Luis Ortiz did say is that, at the end of the day, we get the last call as fighters. And if Joshua wants to fight, Ortiz, he can do it. So we'll see. We gone.